The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain Longman Simplified English Series Read by นฤมล พันธ์สำโรง Chapter 18 How could you be so noble? There was something about Aunt Polly manner when she kissed Tom that swept away his feeling of depression. He set off for school and had the luck to meet Becky Chater. When he was happy, he could never be angry with Annie, and so he said, "Becky, I behaved badly today, and I'm sorry. Let us be friends." The girl stopped and looked him scornfully in the face. "Please don't speak to me, Mr. Thomas Sawyer." She held up her hat proudly and passed on. Tom was stunned. He presently saw her in the schoolyard and made a startling remark. She fired one in return and could hardly wait for school to begin. So impatient was she to see Tom punished for the damaged sparkling book. Poor girl! She did not know that she would soon be in trouble with herself. The teacher, Mr. Dobbin, had reached middle age with an unsatisfied ambition. The goal of his desire was to be a doctor, but fate had arranged that he should be nothing higher than a village schoolmaster. Every day he took a mysterious book out of his desk and struck it at time. Every pupil in the school was longing to have a look at it, but the chance never came. Now, as Becky was passing by the desk, which stood near the door, she noticed that the key was in the lock. It was a precious moment. She glanced round, found herself alone, and the next instant she had the book in her hands. She noted that it was possessed somebody's health and disease, and began to turn the pages. At the moment, and shoulder fell on the page, and Tom Sawyer stepped in at the door. Becky snatched at the book, closed it, and had the misfortune to tear a page. She thrust the book into the desk, turned the key, and burst out crying with shame and annoyance. "Tom Sawyer, how could you be so hot?" Creeping up to see what one's looking at. "How could I know that you were looking at anything? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I know that you're going to tell the teacher about me. And oh, what shall I do? I'll be punished, and I have never been punished in school." And she rushed out of the classroom in a storm to tears. In a few moments, the teacher arrived, and lessons began. Soon, the spelling book discovery was made. Becky thought for a moment of telling about Alfred Temple, but she forced herself to keep quiet because she said to herself, He told about me tearing the book. I wouldn't say a word, not even to save his life. Tom took his punishment and went back to his seat, not at all broken heart, for he thought that he might have upset the ink on the spelling book himself. A whole hour passed by. Then Mr. Robbins unlocked his desk and reached for his book, but seemed undecided whether to take it out or leave it. Most of the pupils glanced up at me, but there were two who watched his movement closely. Mr. Dobbins fingered his book thoughtfully for a time, then took it out and settled himself in his chair to read. Tom glanced at Becky. The anxious expression on her face made him forget this quarrel with her. Quick, something must be done. He would run and snatch the book, spring through the door, and fly. But he hesitated. His chance was lost. The teacher had opened the book. The next moment, he fetched the school. His stern gaze made even the innocent tremble. There was a silence while one might content. Then he spoke. Who took this book? There was not a sound. One could have heard a pin drop. The teacher searched face after face for signs of guilt. Benjamin Roger, did you take this book? I denied. Another page. Joseph Harper, did you? Another denial. Tom's uneasiness grew as the teacher examined the row of boys. Considered for a moment and then turned to the girls. Emily Lawrence, a shake of the head. Gracie Miller, the same side. Susan Harper, did you do this? Another negative. The next girl was Becky Shatter. Tom was trembling from head to foot with excitement and a sense of the hopelessness of the situation. Rebecca Shatter. Tom glanced at her face. It was white with terrors. Did you tear? No. Look me in the face. Did you tear this book? A thought shot like lightning through Tom's brain. He sprang to his feet and shouted, I did it! The pupils stared astounded at Tom's foolishness. When he stepped forward to his punishment, the surprise, the gratitude, the worship that shone upon him out of Becky's eyes seemed reward enough for 100 whippings. He took without a murmur the most severe punishing that even Mr. Dobbins had ever given. Tom went to bed that night planning revenge again. Unfriended Temple for Becky had told him all, but even the longing for revenge had to give way soon to pleasanter thoughts, and he fell asleep at last with Becky was still in his ear. Tom, How could you be so low?